If you have access and you live on the coast, hey, don't be afraid to grab a hose and just hose down your coils. Just yourself, hose down your coils outdoors, hose down the unit. Salt kills air conditioning systems. I don't know what else way to put it. It's not good for air conditioning systems. The coils fall apart. The average lifespan for folks who don't have their systems serviced, which is unfortunately a lot, is anywhere from 4 to 6 years before they start having major failures, especially on the condensing coils and the parts outdoors, like the accumulators that they just rust apart. So do not be afraid to take a hose and just hose down your unit. They're meant to be wet. You're not going to hurt it. You can spray it up, down, on the side, on the top. It doesn't matter. Just get the salt off if you can. And then just have us come out at least twice a year for the service where we pull apart the unit and we clean it with a chemical and it just gets all the salt completely off. We clean the coils so they're breathing. We clean out the drain line. We clean out, check all the refrigerant pressures, so it's a service and the cleaning that includes the duct sanitation for the indoor air quality at the end. We're offering it on the radio show today only for $25. 813-534-4117. Again, 813-534-4117. If you're just tuning in now, I want to reiterate that because unfortunately, from things like a lot of beachfront properties or properties within 2 miles of the beach are either rentals or they're investment properties. A lot of them are properties that snowbirds own, or if they might not live there all year long. But folks, if you have, if you can, you should always have your air conditioning system serviced and cleaned in on the coast a minimum of twice a year. If you're not on the coast, well, then you should have it done at least once a year. Twice is ideal, but at least on the coast, you need to have it done at least twice a year. And let me reiterate that if you, as a homeowner, someone that knows that these air conditioning systems these days cost anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 easily, that's the normal going rate for air conditioning equipment. If you know it costs that much, there's no reason you can't put it on your calendar and just take a garden hose and hose the outdoor unit down if you have access to it, once every 6 months or so, or between services that we come out there. Folks, it will do such a wonder for your air conditioner because salt from the water and the air kills everything. And they're such expensive investments to let the salt just eat up, and then you're having to replace major components within 4 or 5, 6 years of when you install that air conditioner. Get the service done. We're offering it for $25. 813-534-4117. Again, 813-534-4117. If you're wondering what we did or you're just tuning in on what we do on the service, when our service technicians come out, they come out in a fully wrapped vehicle. You'll know where we're from. It'll say ACS Home Services. You'll have a big old lizard on the side of the truck. You've probably seen our trucks around. We have several around town. We'll kind of come out there and he's going to be in uniform. He's going to come into your house. He's going to ask you a series of questions at the thermostat. He's going to then take some temperatures from the air coming out of the vent. He's going to go outdoors and he's going to pull apart the unit and he's going to start his cleaning because the cleaning is what takes all the time on these services, where they take an hour, hour and a half. The vast majority of it is cleaning. So he's going to pull apart the unit. He's going to spray the coils from the inside and outside with a chemical. And this chemical is huge because it takes all the, inhibits oxidation. And if you have salt in the air, it stops the corrosion and it pulls the salt off the coils. They're going to clean the condensing units from the inside with a vacuum and get all the leaves and debris out of it. They're going to check the refrigerant pressures and all your amp on the motors, all your small little parts in the air conditioner. They're going to go through and check those. They're going to clear out your drain line with their vacuum. And then they're going to do a similar service inside with the unit that is indoors, as well as a duct sanitation, which is a fogger that they introduce to the ducting system when they're done, which is great for your breathing and indoor air quality if you have any kind of sinusitis or issues with your with breathing when you come in the home. These duct sanitations are really, really good, good for you. So it's included in the $25 service. 813-534-4117. Again, 813-534-4117. This is our total system rejuvenation. And it's a service that takes about an hour and a half. It is not a service that is 15 minutes in and out like a lot of air conditioning companies do. You're better off saving your money if that's the kind of service you're looking for. Folks, if you're just looking for an inspection when an AC guy comes out, you're missing half the value there. Us checking your parts and making sure everything's working okay and how it's supposed to be before summer comes around, it surely is important so that if there's something you need to have a heads up about that you do. But cleaning the air conditioning system so that it can breathe and operate as it's supposed to is the other half of the battle. If you want your air conditioning system to last 12 to 15 years, how they're intended to last, then you need to keep up with it on an annual basis. Otherwise, you're going to have major failures prematurely, and you're going to be asking yourself whether it is worth keeping your air conditioning system because you have to continue to put large amounts of money into it. So give us a call, 813-534-4117. The $25 service is typically $200. If you go on our website, that's what you'll see. And why it is so cheap is it's not a bait and switch. It's not some, ploy to get you to spend more money. What the reality is, if you think about it, is as a Florida resident, you will need an AC guy eventually. That's not, there's no way around that. We have air conditioning systems and they're going to break. They all will eventually. And at that point, you're going to need an AC contractor. And so this is our way that we get our foot in the door. We introduce ourselves to you. We put our sticker on your unit so that when something happens or you want an estimate on work, you call us and give us a shot after you know the kind of service that we're doing. 813-534-4117. I wanted to reiterate that the duct sanitation, which is just so good for the breathing, if you wake up stuffy, if you have asthma, if you have sinusitis, if you have any of these issues with breathing, stuffiness in your home, allergies, the duct sanitation, which is a fogger that we introduced to the ducting system, completely hyperallergenic, is so good for that. So good. We have folks that they get the air conditioning maintenance service every year or every twice a year, and they always ask for the duct sanitation, which we include. So 813-534-4117. Again, 813-534-4117. The $25 total system rejuvenation does include that duct sanitation. And again, folks, if you're not having this air conditioning, this cleaning and service done, please understand that the manufacturers require it. If you read the fine print on your paperwork for your manufacturer warranty, it always says, that they'll recover repairs under the pretense that you will keep up with the maintenance, just like you wouldn't be able to retain 100,000-mile warranty on your vehicle without changing the oil. So, get it done, have the record of service, but most importantly, get the system cleaned. It's tough as an AC guy to always build that importance and value to folks who don't know anything about air conditioning. But let me tell you, the cleaning of the air conditioning equipment is the difference maker in why your air conditioner might last 8 years to 15 years. Is whether it's essentially operating under duress all the time because it's stressed out because it can't breathe from certain places. And so have the air conditioning service done. 813-534-4117, $25 total system rejuvenation. Again, 813-534-4117. If you want to call and ask a couple questions before you book your appointment, feel free to do that. If you I do see that the call takers are saying that we have a few people on the line. So if we don't pick up right away, we'll get right back to you. But otherwise, give us a call, book the appointment for this week. This is for new clients only, homeowner occupied properties, $25 total system rejuvenation, 813-534-4117.
You've been listening to Keeping It Cool with Josh Cabrera, sponsored by ACS Home Services, Central Florida's heating and cooling experts. For further information and to take advantage of special offers during today's program, connect at acshomeservices.com or call 813-534-4117. That's 813-534-4117.
What's the difference between running your vehicle through a car wash versus having it detailed? A car wash removes dirt and grime from the exterior, but most automatic car washes can actually damage your paint job. Auto detailing involves a safe hand wash, and depending on the package you choose, a full cleaning of your wheels, rims, tires, and interior. The licensed and insured master detailers at Register Auto Detailing come to your home or office any day of the week, including weekends. Having earned the trust of luxury car owners all over Central Florida, Register Auto Detailing uses only the best ceramic and glass coatings. Whether you have a brand new car or a classic, keeping it in good shape is likely on your list of priorities. Register Auto Detailing will help your car look its very best at any age. AutoDetail.com. That's registerautodetail.com. Mention that you heard this commercial on Keeping It Cool to receive 15% off select detail packages. RegisterAutoDetail.com.
Keeping It Cool is sponsored by ACS Home Services and is a pre-recorded program. Learn more by visiting acshomeservices.com. That's acshomeservices.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-353-2973 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-353-2973. That's 800-353-2973. What do you have to lose? Call 800-353-2973. Again, 800-353-2973.
Tampa Bay's only conservative station. 60 The Answer, WGUL. You need to download the Answer Tampa app or listen online at theanswertampa.com. Tune in at Odyssey.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. It's the final weekend of campaigning in Iowa for GOP presidential hopefuls.
Ahead of Monday's caucuses, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley braved the elements on Saturday, stumping for votes in a state hit by blizzard conditions. Both candidates trailed Donald Trump in the polls and are hoping for a solid finish, if not a last-minute surprise, to give them momentum into New Hampshire and beyond. Meanwhile, frigid, wintry weather forced the former president to cancel his 2 in-person rallies on Saturday. Monday's weather is expected to be the coldest for any caucus day in history. Greg Clugston, Washington.
South Korea's military says North Korea fired a suspected intermediate-range ballistic missile toward the sea today. The launch was the North's first in the new year. It comes 2 months after it claimed to have tested engines for a bigger missile. This is SRN News. Poll after poll indicates that America is in serious moral decline. One Christian researcher says there's an opportunity for a turnaround.
That's the beauty of crises. That's a gift from God to give us the opportunity to question who we are, what we think, what we're doing, how we're living, what we're trying to do.
The top cop in Los Angeles calls it quits.
Chief Michael Moore made the unexpected announcement Friday he's taking off his badge at the end of February so he and his wife can move closer to their out-of-state daughter. Moore has been a cop for more than 4 decades and chief since 2018. He'd been reappointed last year for a second term to begin planning.
Two interceptions by Joe Flacco for TDs to trounce the Cleveland Browns 45-14. This is SRN News.
Portions of this hour have been pre-recorded for broadcast at this time.
Two Guys Gun Shows comes to the Hernando County Fairgrounds this Saturday and Sunday with a variety of new and used firearms. Shop the most modern and up-to-date guns and tactical equipment. Two Guys Gun Shows feature both licensed dealers and private sellers collections that aren't often found in other Florida shows. Trade-ins are welcome. One ticket both days, this Saturday and Sunday, at the Hernando County Fairgrounds in Brooksville at 6436 Broad Street. Enjoy the weekend with Two Guys Gun Shows in Brooksville.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
The latest from AccuWeather at the top and bottom of the hour. Only on AM 860, The Answer.
Clouds and sun today, couple of showers. Today's high 64, mostly cloudy tonight, low 53. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Tomorrow will reach a high of 73. Cloudy Tuesday, showers in the morning, rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 72. Download the AccuWeather app and check AccuWeather.com often. That's your AccuWeather forecast. I'm Drew Shannon for AM 860, The Answer.
The financial content, including all financial data, editorial content, and advertising provided on this program, is intended for personal use and entertainment and does not constitute investment advice. Financial content that appears on this station does not mean this station endorses such content. In addition, this station makes no representation that financial information is accurate, complete, or timely. This station does not accept any liability for any investment decisions made on the basis of this information. It is strongly recommended you obtain professional advice before proceeding with any investment.
Welcome to the Prosperity Hour. Join host Greg Ellie of the Prosperity Group as they guide you on your path to prosperity in retirement and life. Learn how to safely protect your money from market risk, creating your own pension-like income with their safe money strategies and implementing their tax-free plans. Call Greg or the team at 864-989-0176 or email Greg at mymoneyissafe.com. Visit mymoneyissafe.com and start now.
Good morning, folks. This is Greg Ellie of the Prosperity Group, and welcome to the Prosperity Hour. And today we're going to talk about something that's a little bit different than we've been talking about. It's wills or trust, okay? Wills or trust. And I want to say up front that we are not attorneys, so we are not giving legal advice in regards to wills or trust. We're talking in layman's terms. But we do have a program that we've affiliated with, and I'm going to announce part of it right now. But if you need direction on wills or trusts, we're going to be able to hook you up with a software where attorneys can actually help you develop your own trust at a much lower cost than what you typically could do if you went to an individual attorney. And this is with attorneys that are nationally based. And they're in multiple states. And so I'm excited about this program. And we're going to be doing seminars about it. So we're going to be talking about these type of things at seminars. So stay tuned, folks. You can reach us at 1-800-440-0434. You can go to mymoneyissafe.com. You can also, we have something really interesting that's new, and I think you're going to really love. We have a tax calculator on our website now. So if you want to calculate what your tax is, you can kind of play with the calculator. You can give us a call. We'd love to help you because we're going to start focusing a lot on taxes because the Trump tax cuts are going to be sunsetting. And if people aren't taking actions now on what to do, they might be left out and be in a much more pernicious tax situation. So folks, this is something that we're going to help folks with, and we're going to be doing seminars. I was on Your Carolina yesterday on WSPA. And on our website, you've got different ways you can access us. You can go to YouTube. You can actually click on our website and listen to some of the, or listen and watch some of the YouTube videos that we've done. And we also post our TV appearance right here. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show today. And I also want to reiterate something right now, that there is an opportunity for you to add, listen to me very carefully, anywhere from 25 to 45% to your retirement account. Now, some of you have been hearing me say this, and you might be saying, oh, this is too good to be true. It's not realistic. Let me tell you something. There's about 2 weeks of this left in its present form. Folks, if you want to take advantage of this, then give us a call, 1-800-440-0434, or go to mymoneyissafe.com. Well, Patty, we're going to just dive right into things. So, wills or trust? What's your experience with people that you've met that just had wills or just had trust? You know, have you had any personal experiences with it?
Well, you know by now, and the people that have listened, I like play on words.
Mm-hmm.
What you learn is that you cannot trust a will. And
very well said.
What called the show, I said, if there's will, there may not be a way.
Right.
And I'm a little tongue in cheek, which can confuse people. So Greg is the voice and mind of reason. Is like, well, okay, that's really cute, but let's call it this. But my experience is that, like you say at our seminars and at our learning meetings, that if you want to ask permission, then you do the will. If you want to give direction and tell the courts what you want, then you do the trust.
Right, right.
And there is a size, etc., of a portfolio where a will is not necessary. And, you know, we are not looking to
a will or trust.
Well, either. I mean, there's a size when it's so small to where, you know, where a will is very sufficient.
Right.
But the majority of clients that we deal with, a trust is definitely needed. And we're not looking to spend clients' money unnecessarily, but we're helping to save the money and to give them comfort in knowing that what they want will actually happen when they're no longer here to give the directive.
You know, Patty, I've been doing this business for 33 years. You've been doing it almost the same amount of time. And I have seen some horror stories.
Oh, yes.
I had a particular situation with one of our clients. And when I first met her and her husband,
exactly you're thinking about.
Yeah. And I met her and her husband, and he goes to me, I said, you know, this is a second marriage. You may want to talk to an attorney about a trust. I can't advise him to get a trust. And he says to me, why would I do that? We got a will. And I said, well, if there's an issue with your kids and the client. And he goes, oh, they treat her like the mother. It's no problem, yada, yada, yada. And I just had a weird feeling. So I was trying to get him to call the attorney. He took off and went to California. He died in California. Now, this all occurred and I didn't hear right away. So, you know, I talked to the clients. I knew they're going to be gone. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 months later, I get a phone call from the surviving spouse. And she goes, Greg, it's exactly what you said. This is a mess. His son came in with a notebook saying, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And I've had to hire an attorney, and it's cost me $30,000 to basically get the kids to go away.
Right.
And you know how she is. She never even gave me the whole detail. She was embarrassed, and a very intelligent person. But the husband was convinced everything was okay. You can't predict it, because you know what happens when somebody dies? The introverts become extroverts and vice versa.
Absolutely.
And so the reason you want to trust, folks, is what Patty said earlier. You would rather give the court instructions rather than asking them for permission. That's why I have a trust for my family. And it's so you could even put a clause in there saying if anybody contests, anybody argues, they're disinherited. So that could really stop a lot of fights. I can think of the Joe Robbie family. Joe Robbie was the former Miami Dolphins owner, and many of you know I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. And they had an estate of $55 million. There was so much arguing. He had no trust. By the time they settled, it was less than $10 million.
What ends up happening is the attorneys are the ones that make most of the money.
Absolutely. And the attorneys definitely made the money this time. So, folks, I want to tell you, if you do the insurance type of products that we deal with, they don't go through probate. So right there, those assets don't go through probate, which saves you a lot of headache. And if a client passes away, it's pretty seamless to get the funds taken, passed on to the family where they're supposed to. But if you have a blended family, if you have a first, second, third marriage, it could become a big problem that could cause a lot of pain, a lot of bad feelings. And so it's important that you make smart decisions on this. So this trust program that we're going to be able to facilitate for you, I think you're going to like it. And we're going to be putting some stuff on the website. So folks, you can reach us at 1-800-440-0434. That's 1-800-440-0434. Or you go to mymoneyissafe.com. You go to mymoneyissafe.com. And so, folks, we are looking very much at trying to help you with these type of situations. So anyway, give us a call. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a trust, if you have a will, or let's say you just have a will and you're not sure what to do, we're going to be able to help you with a program by recommending you to some lawyers and a software that will facilitate your life. So folks, if you give us a call at 1-800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com, we'll be able to help you and also learn how you can add 25 to 45% to your retirement account. So Patty, we've seen this occur over and over. And it's a problem when people don't think they need it. A lot of people will say, I've heard people say, well, you don't need a trust unless you're worth more than $1 million. I've seen situations where a lot less net worth, and there was a big problems. In fact, there was a company, I'm sorry, not a company. There was some folks that came to see us, and they were in the paper in Greenville News years later because they got murdered by an intruder in their house in the Greenville. It was all in the news. I'm certainly not going to mention the name. But what happened is they expressed to me that the family had this property that they had where the highway was expanding at 385 in Lawrence County, and they were fighting over 7 years. Nobody could agree. And so 7 years, the thing was in probate, and they could not, finish probate because a couple of the siblings were, no, we don't want this. And that's just such a waste of time. And if there had been a trust in there, it would have made, it would have been a lot easier for folks. Want to say hello to Rick and Lee. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you are doing well. So, folks, we are almost out of time. Give us a call, 800-440-0434. We'll be right back.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. I feel it. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you paying too much for your health insurance? Are your deductibles too high? Or are you completely uninsured? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Healthcare Help Desk can help you now when people need help the most. Health insurance laws and rules have changed. If you have Obamacare, are uninsured, or your premiums are too high, call Healthcare Help Desk. It's free. New healthcare plans are available, and you may qualify for dental coverage and lower copays and deductibles. Make the free call now. Top quality coverage at the lowest prices anywhere. You may be paying too much and not even know it. In these troubled times, healthcare is more important than ever. Don't let another day go by without health insurance. Policies are being offered with very low copays and deductibles. So if you're uninsured, underinsured, or paying too much, call Healthcare Help Desk.
800-820-6058. 800-820-6058. 800-820-6058.
Two Guys Gun Shows comes to the Hernando County Fairgrounds this Saturday and Sunday with a variety of new and used firearms. Shop the most modern and up-to-date guns and tactical equipment. Guys Gun Shows feature both licensed dealers and private sellers collections that aren't often found in other Florida shows. Trade-ins are welcome. One ticket both days, this Saturday and Sunday, at the Hernando County Fairgrounds in Brooksville at 6436 Broad Street. Enjoy the weekend with Two Guys Gun Shows in Brooksville.
It's not me, it's just different how sometimes you're my preference how it's for real, no faking it. You told me I'm your second favorite.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The song that you heard is a song that was written by my daughter, Annie Ellie, called Second Favorite. And she is in Hawaii. She's showing me pictures of Hawaii. She's in Kauai right now. Absolutely loving it. She actually wrote a praise and worship song that's tremendous. She's been going to a neat little church in Hawaii. And so it's been I think a great experience for her. And I'm always excited when she comes up with praise and worship music and any of her music. So I'm biased, of course, but most people really seem to enjoy her music. Patty, I'll have to let you hear that song this morning. She sent it to me at 5 o'clock in the morning. It gave me gave me tears. And so, folks, we are talking about wills and trusts today, okay? And again, I want to put the disclaimer, we are not attorneys. We are not giving you legal advice. I am talking because of the fact I have a trust for my family and, a will. So basically, a trust has a will in it. And what happens typically, if you have an estate that's less than $60,000, you go through summary probate, which is a very accelerated probate. Most of the probate, at least in South Carolina, takes 9 months to 2 years to go through. Florida is the same thing. Now, Florida, you have probate cost. So in Florida, you could pay anywhere from 5 to 10% in probate costs. So that means if you got $1 million, that could cost a lot. And that's why it's important to have some of these vehicles. Not only that, the trust can be very helpful in terms of taxes, depending on what type of trust you have. Hey, Tom, and hey, Kathy, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm excited about some of the things that we're doing for you. And, we've got some good changes that are taking place. So appreciate you all joining in. But it is really, really important, I believe, to have these type of things. Patty, I gave one example earlier last segment. I mean, we've got other examples that we can, do you have any personal examples that you've experienced in terms of?
Praise God. Not, when I say personal, not myself, but I have a friend that is still going through it. Her mother passed away not long after my mother did, and my mother passed in 15.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And that estate is still not settled.
Wait, your friends?
That is correct.
Wow.
Yes.
And your mom's was?
Oh, yes. It's my sister and me.
Yes. Yeah.
Then a neighbor of ours. I mean, it was horrible. Similar to what our client was that you spoke about earlier, where she was the second wife and the children, etc. Oh, they love her like a mother. Well, yeah, they do until you're not here.
Right.
And then the mother,
true colors come out.
Exactly. And so, yes, I mean, it happens all the time. Happens in the best of families.
Patty, there's a story of Uncle Harry, and Uncle Harry, his hearing was going bad. And finally, he wouldn't use the hearing aid. And so basically he couldn't hear anything that was going on. And so the kids all got together to discuss his estate because Uncle Harry was worth like $4 million. And there were 6 kids. And, actually it was worth more than 4 million. This was like $40 million. It's a lot of money. And so Uncle Harry's listening to everybody talking. And so all the kids were basically wanting to know when he was going to die, when they were going to get their portion. And the only one of the kids that stood up and said, you know what, this is wrong. I hope he lives another 20, 30 years, and, I love him very much. So at the end, when he died and the will was being dispersed, all the kids were disinherited. You know why? Uncle Harry could hear. And he heard the one person who wasn't greedy. And so everything went to her. But guess what happened? Uncle Harry had it done in a trust. And so they didn't contest. They couldn't contest it. They tried, but it was foolproof. It was done with an attorney. He was in his right mind. And in his letter to the kids, he says, it's such a shame. I love you all very much, but I was appalled at the greed. You guys were counting the money before I even went in the grave. And little did you know I could hear a lot more than you thought I could.
Wow. There are a lot of morals to that story.
Yes. And it happens. That's for sure.
Yes, it does. And a lot of people, you've worked your entire life for these funds. And a lot of clients that we sit down with, they have directives, and a lot of their planning was legacy.
Right.
So the last thing that you want is for the legacy to not to go according to how you had planned
exactly
all those years and dollars.
Exactly. And that's what you want. You want it. They say that a will and a trust, like a will, like I say, you ask for permission. A trust, you give instructions. But what happens to a trust is after the person dies, it becomes irrevocable at that point. So we're talking revocable trust. A revocable trust means you can change your mind, right? And so you put it that way. Now, when you're dealing with taxes, like a charitable remainder trust, a life insurance trust, these are ways to help lower taxes. So right now, if you've got an estate that it's worth over a couple of $1 million, you might want to do, what do you call it? You might want to do a life insurance trust, which is called, I'm going blank right now on what's, I'll think of it in a minute. There's a crap trust, and right now, that's another one. And there's a Krupp trust, but ILIT, irrevocable life insurance trust. Okay, so that's a way to help, change estate taxes. Now, folks, I have a prediction that not only are taxes going to go through the roof, but that estate taxes will be lowered. Right now, I think the exemption is up to 13 million, 11 million, whatever it is. Don't be surprised if it gets lowered down to 2 million, 5 million, if these present people get their way that are in there right now. So
isn't it funny that lowering taxes is not always a good thing? Because when you said that at first, I was like, oh, that'll be great. And then when you explained what you were saying, I was like, oh, that's not great.
No. And it's unfortunate that can happen, and Tom put on there, where there's a will, there's a relationship. Yeah. Or there's a relation. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the fact of the matter is you want to be able to have your will, if you will, that's no pun intended, taken care of. So that's the key. That's the crux of it right there, So folks, you can reach us at 1-800-440-0434. That's 1-800-440-0434. So I want to tell you this as well, that right now, and we had a meeting last night, we had a seminar at City Range in the Greenville area. Folks in Sarasota, I'm hoping to be doing something in February in Sarasota. Right now is an opportunity that's not going to be around very long, folks. We can show you how to add 25 to 45% to your retirement accounts. That's immediately 25 to 45% to your retirement account. And these accounts, many of them have no fees. So folks, right now, if you have an annuity that you wrote in, or that you got, say, earlier than 2019, give us a call. Give us a call. We might be able to help you. puts you in a much higher interest rate tier, and these things are tiered. Also, if you have a variable annuity, folks, variable annuities right now, a lot of those gains, you may see them go south. So if you have a variable annuity, we ran into a client. In fact, I met with him in Sarasota, and I haven't talked to him yet. So if you're listening, I'm not going to mention your name on the air, but we're going to be able to add $60,000 into your account, into your retirement account, and into your wife's retirement account. Folks, how do you like that? You could add $120,000 to two retirement accounts. That's huge. With a top company, this is not a gimmick. This money doesn't go through probate. You can make a reasonable rate of return. Many of the fixed rates are around 4 and 5% right now. So that's one of the good side benefits of inflation. But we are already seeing the interest rates drop. Let me tell you why the interest rates are going to drop, in my humble opinion. There's an election, and somebody wants the election to go a certain way. So we drop the rates to try to boost up the market. But because inflation is so high, and because gas is so high at the pump, and we're being told no, it's going down, lowering the interest rates might backfire. So you might see some things, and the head of JP Morgan, I don't know if we can look it up, Patty, but the head of JP Morgan believes we're heading into a recession in 2024. And with our safe money strategy right now, you can make
saw you for a second there, Doc.
Proof, completely recession proof. Folks, you can reach us at 1-800-440-0434. You can also find us on Faith Talk in Tampa.
You look good. I don't know if you can hear me yet.
860 The Answer, 930 The Answer in Sarasota. We are on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/ hashtag my money is safe, and you can learn how your money is safe. You can go to Facebook Prosperity Group Advisors, and we are on channel 7 in the South Carolina area, which is WSPA, the CBS affiliate. So folks, hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of some of these strategies that we're talking about. I mean, this is really important. And those of you listening on Facebook, go ahead and share with us. Share with people that they can listen to some of the things we're talking about. Patty, it's uncanny to me when I see some of the mistakes that people have made, by thinking the kids, everything was okay. And it's just, it's sad because I hate seeing something like that,
Oh, absolutely. And for people that were on Facebook, when you said that JP Morgan said that we're going to be they thought us heading into a recession in 24.
Right.
The smirk on my face was, we're already in a recession. They just won't call it that.
Right.
But the gentleman is Jamie Dimon, Dimon. I could be saying that name wrong, but yes, we could talk about it.
All right. We'll be right back, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have a retirement account? Are you approaching 59 and a half where you need to do an in-service rollover? Let me talk to you about a way that you can add anywhere from 25 to 45% into your retirement account. That's right, 25 to 45% in your retirement account. And you could see your retirement climb double in 10 years. Folks, call us at 800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com.
Hey, I'm 860 The Answer. Listen on our website, theanswertampa.com, 93.7 FM, W229DJ Dunedin, by downloading the Answer Tampa app or on TuneIn or Odyssey.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. The attacks on commercial ships in the Red Sea by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels have rerouted trade away from a crucial corridor for consumer goods and energy supplies. That is delaying shipments and raising transport costs. Oil, natural gas, grain, and everything from toys to electronics typically travel through the waterway separating Africa from the Arabian Peninsula. The FAA says it will increase oversight of Boeing and audit the production of the 737 MAX 9 jetliner after a panel blew off an Alaska Airlines plane in mid-flight this month. It was the latest in a string of mishaps at the troubled aircraft maker. The FAA says it will judge whether Boeing and its suppliers followed approved quality procedures. The agency also indicated it's reconsidering its long-standing practice of relying on employees at aircraft manufacturers to do safety analysis. This is SRN.
Because no matter what, and no matter where, you need the truth. And specifically, if you're listening from Newport Richey to St. Petersburg or from Tampa to the coast, you can get the answer on FM 93.7, always on AM 860, online at theanswertampa.com, and depending on where you are, on FM 93.7. The latest from AccuWeather at the top and bottom of the hour, only on AM 860, The Answer.
Clouds and sun today, couple of showers. Today's high 64, mostly cloudy tonight, low 53. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Tomorrow will reach a high of 73. Cloudy Tuesday, showers in the morning, rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 72. Download the AccuWeather app and check AccuWeather.com often. That's your AccuWeather forecast. I'm Drew Shannon for AM 860, The Answer.
We are called to take his life to a world where wrong seems right. What could be too great a cost for sharing life with one who's lost? Through his love, our hearts can feel all the grief they bear.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And the song that you heard was a song that I recorded in 1990, and it's called People Need the Lord. It was made popular by Steve Green, and it's a beautiful song and one of my favorite songs. And I'm looking forward to getting my hymns album out this year. And so it's been a long time. So we're getting things out. And so I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, Tom, you're right. It's a hard topic to talk about when you're talking about wills and trusts because it emotionally charges people. You know, I've seen so many people that, you know, it becomes a problem for them. And that's why they need to make the decision. Right now, this trust and will, this program that we have, which is a software, we're going to be able to facilitate this to people. And in fact, we're going to be doing some seminars. We're going to be talking about this. And we'll be able to help you with this tremendously. I used to do this in Florida quite a bit. We used to have an attorney down there that would help people do wills and trusts. Let me say something else too that's really, really important. Many attorneys that do your trust do not fund the trust. And the reason they don't fund the trust, which I think is unethical or negligent, is because of the fact that means you're gonna have to go to them for probate anyway. So basically, you're paying for a trust document, but the assets aren't changed in the trust. The house is not changed in the name of the trust. The checking account's not changed in the name of the trust. Now, your insurance policies don't necessarily have to be. And I'm not a big fan of making a trust a beneficiary of an IRA. So these are type of things that we can help you with that you need to understand. And so make a note of what I'm telling you. You want to make sure that your trust is funded. Patty, I've seen this so many times throughout my career. And I was talking to my friend down in Florida who hooked us up with this trust program. And he told me he had worked with an attorney for a long time. And the attorney said to him, he goes, "Why aren't you funding the trust?" He goes, "Because this is my retirement program." That's what the attorney told him.
Wow.
Yeah. So in other words, taking all these people to do programs. So he took the money for him, didn't fund the trust or didn't tell them they needed to fund the trust. Well, if you go to an attorney, you want them to tell you what you need.
Absolutely.
So funding the trust is imperative. So the trust that I did, I found out as well, was not funded. And so I'm doing through another program. So the guy did the whole thing, all the paperwork, everything, nothing got done.
Wow.
Nothing got done. So that means I'm in the same boat. I've got to do the same thing. So I'm going to use the same program. I'm going to just plug it in, have my trust redone, and make sure it's good. It happens to a lot of people, and they don't know that trust is not funded. So, folks, we're talking about trust. I also want to talk about safe money opportunities right now. One of the big mistakes people make is they roll over, like if they change employment, they roll their old 401k to the new 401k. You should convert your old 401k into an IRA. then start a new 401k at your new place of employment. That way you make your money safe. It's not necessarily in the market. Very, very important. People that don't do that are not taking advantage of making their money safe. And that could be a big problem. So let me give you an example. Let's say I got $250,000 in my 401k. I changed employments. I'm 45 years old. And I go to take my 401k and I put it into the new 401k. A week later, the market crashes. I lose 40%. I lost 40% of everything. If I convert it to a self-directed IRA, hopefully not in the market, one of our strategies, not only could I add more money to it, I could reduce substantially the risk or eliminate the risk entirely right now. So these are strategies that people need to think about. The other thing is that in-service rollover at 59.5. Patty, have you noticed, and I think it's human nature, because we had that upsurge last month in the market, how many people over 60 to 63 years old were still in the market? They hadn't taken advantage of their in-service rollover.
People just don't think. And another aspect of the in-service rollover, or when you change companies and go to another company, because you may be sitting there and someone may say, well, my company told me that I could put it, because what happens when you do transfer it to your new employer is it does not go into, some of them will not allow it to go into the active part. It just goes to a place where it sits.
Right. Right. That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
So you might be thinking, oh, well, then it's safe. Well, it's safe if you're happy earning 1% or 0.5%.
Right. But you're still losing money.
Exactly. And so
time value.
Time value of money is crucial. And if you don't believe it, look, we can run something and show you what somebody would make if they put something with us at 30 instead of 60.
Yeah. No.
Oh my gosh, it's unreal. But anyway, all that to say is that even if your company has told you, oh yes, we can put it into a money market for you, still, please talk to us about that rollover, about that transfer of 401k. It is still in your best interest to put it, somewhere where it will actually work for you.
Absolutely.
Because the time value of money is one of your greatest assets. That is, you cannot get back.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely, and you're right, because it is a time value of money, and you can't get it back. So it's well spoken, and that's the thing right now. It blows my mind how complacent people become when we have a few good days in the market, and they think everything's, folks.
Well, it's because we have propped it up for so long.
Right, right.
And we spoke about that gentleman, Gary. I can finally praise Jesus, remember his name, Gary Cardone.
Yes.
Just spoke about the Black Swan. Our show last time was on Black Swan.
Yeah, that's right.
Events.
Right.
And one of the things that we talk about, and he actually agreed with, is that when you can't explain something, he doesn't like to put his money anywhere in something he cannot explain.
Right.
And you cannot explain the market. No one can explain why the market is doing this except for what, the quantitative easing that you talk about, et cetera. And it's just being propped up again and again and again. But eventually that propping up is going to stop. And that is just not somewhere to put your money, that not all your money, and somewhere that is safe. And then I have gone down a rabbit hole, like I have learned, I'll blame it on you, Greg, that I have learned from you. But it also just reminds me that the market was not intended for our retirement funds.
No, it was never intended for retirement funds.
It was intended for the safe money that you count on for your retirement.
You mean the market was intended for the risk money, not your safe money? Yes, yes.
It was not intended for what it is being used for.
Well, you have Irving Baxter in 1928 or 1929 telling everybody, hey, the market's never going to go down, go in, and everybody jumped in, and a few weeks later the market crashed and we went into the Great Depression. Right. And people got burned. You know who didn't get burned, Patty?
I can't. Who?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth did not get burned.
Babe Ruth.
What did Babe Ruth do?
Babe Ruth used annuities. He used annuities. He was the top sports athlete at that time. And so his agent said, hey, you need to do annuities to make sure you have plenty of income, maintain your lifestyle. I had a client at a seminar say, well, he drank a lot of beer, so he needed an annuity to drink his beer. It's not true. George Herman, the Babe.
Wow.
Yeah. So he used annuities. And how many times do we see people or groups, there's a company that's on the internet all the time. Oh, I hate annuities. You should too. And then this person says he's a billionaire financial advisor. Well, do you think maybe by doing what he's done, he's made a lot of money? But how safe is your money with that firm? I mean, it's subject to the market.
And there are some people out there that are against annuities, but actually own annuity companies.
Well, we're talking about the same person. He
There
owns
we
he
go.
owns 25% of an annuity company. That's kind of a conflict of interest, I would think. But
Yes.
the fact is, Social Security is an annuity. It's the Medicare is a form of an annuity because there's money that's appropriated for it. A pension is a form of annuity, even though there's not a lot of pensions. And folks, we talk on our show about how you can create a pension-like income or an inflation-friendly increasing income. Well, folks, we are out of time this segment. Call us at 800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have a retirement account? Are you approaching 59 and a half where you need to do an in-service rollover? Let me talk to you about a way that you can add anywhere from 25 to 45% into your retirement account. That's right, 25 to 45% in your retirement account. And you could see your retirement climb double in 10 years. Folks, call us at 800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com.
Hey, it's Tim Cooper with Health Plan Network. The 2024 open enrollment for the ACA Marketplace health plans is nearly over. If you've enrolled in one of those high deductible, limited network plans, you're not stuck. You can opt out at any time with my Freedom of Choice plan. It's available all year round. My plan lets you pick your doctors. You only meet a deductible if you go into a hospital, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. One more thing, the premiums are not tied to your income, so there's no surprises at tax time. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call me, Tim Cooper, at 813-212-2580. 813-212-2580, or go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net. And we can custom design a plan that's managed by you, not the government.
A royal fantasy. You've been given the music, a tone and song to sing. Not having
Welcome back, listeners. This is Greg Ellie of the Prosperity Group, and we are talking today about wills or trusts. What you should be doing, and so we're talking about it. Patty, I'm going to post the shark thing on my Facebook page because
You just can't not do it, can you?
I can't. I want to make sure people are, they're protected. We want to make sure that nobody's running into sharks when they're fishing.
That
kind
is
of-
very important. And also, we want to be sure that they're not running into sharks with their money.
Good segue there, Patty.
Well, thank you. I'll try to bring it back every now and then.
I see you, Doc.
Can you hear me?
And I hear you, Doc.
How do I look, baby?
What are you wearing? A golf shirt? What kind of shirt that is today? Ah, polo. Polo, I see.
A knockoff polo, but looks good.
You looking fine? Everything sounds good? Everything working on the stream so far?
Yeah, it looks like it's coming across. I don't know what happened between last week and this week, but
Don't question it. Just love it.
so Sharon.
Hey, I got a personal question for you.
Yeah.
I have a terrible toothache right now. I think something got jabbed between a tooth and my gum, and it's deep down and it's swollen up. Can you give me some antibiotics?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Remind me after
We'll talk
the
about
show.
that. I'll send you all the info you need on the text thing later. I think it's a piece of Rolade that crumbled off. Dude, you're falling apart. You don't know, Doc, but you know what? I got a plan G that'll start next month, and we're going to take care of everything on me. Just cut it out. It's not gonna cost me a thing, pretty much. So we're gonna do some surgery. Surgerize you, booed. All right. Let me get into my thing. I'll do it right now since we have time and we're talking. I'll get into the 603 program, Practice Fusion, which is what I use for my medical record. And your name is Zaire? Yeah, Kenneth J. Zaire, Z-Y-E-R. I did not know your name was Kenneth. I don't know.
There you are. All right. So, antibiotic. So this is an oral infection. So for an oral infection, we'll use Augmentin. That should get everything. You're not allergic to penicillin, are you?
No, sir, not at all. Whatever kind you need, that's what I'll take.
Well, this is the kind that you need. What I tell you is what you need.
Jawohl.
Okay. That's on the formulary. Are you going to the dentist this week?
I'm calling him this week. This just happened like last night, and it's been bothering me all night. But I hope to get there next week.
You hope to.
I hope to. These guys are a little busy if you're not really in a lot of pain.
All right, I'll give you 7 days and one refill in case you don't get in to see him in a hurry.
I would think that would do it because this thing should just go away by itself. I would think after a while it'll just disintegrate because it's just a piece of Rolade.
Just a piece of Rolade.
Yeah, I can feel it. It's kind of like.
Well, dig it out, dude. Dig it out.
What do I know?
Dig it out.
What? Dig it out?
Yeah.
I actually kind of did that a little bit with a toothpick. I think I pushed it down.
Oh, so I got Walgreens, North Pebble Beach.
That sounds correct, sir.
All right, that's gone. You're good to go now.
Thank you. Put a telemedicine on my bill.
I will. We're doing
What is the subject today? We're going to talk about COVID. I understand that's, well, Robert's got it. So I understand it's coming back a little bit here.
Thank God. Things are slow lately.
It's kind of like me with the news. The worse the news is, the better I like it.
That's a fact, Jack.
It's a lot easier to write news when you've got news.
So Sharon and Gary Laird are watching, and they said I look good on Facebook or somewhere. Twitter, Twitch.
Excellent. You look good. You do look good. The lighting's perfect.
Well, then we're ready to do a show, baby.
And I got your music. You had some lyrics on the front of that, so there'll be a bit of a delay before you hear me tell you to go.
All right. So they haven't figured out yet where the glitch is in the sound.
It's still there, and I don't know when. I can't figure it out. Is there no logical reason for you not to be able to hear that music when I play it? Because it's on computer, it's on our regular programming, and it's the next cart after the weather. So I just don't understand why you can't hear it.
Well, now you're putting in a new system, right?
We are. Hopefully, the new system will be better. Yeah.
Is it more computer driven?
Yeah, it's actually the one we have now doesn't even run on Windows. That's how old it is. The new one will run on Windows.
Okay, good.
So that should make it a bigger compatibility easier.
So Robert's he's hard at it, huh? He told me he was climbing in and out of cabinets and finding things he hadn't found for decades and
finding wires that nobody knows what they do anymore. Yeah.
No, what is this?
So yeah, it's not a good time for him to have COVID. No. It's always a good time for me for him to have COVID, but not for him to have COVID. Everybody's a good time for you to have COVID. You got it. And flu and everything. One of the young doctors with the new group was sick yesterday. He was in the office. He does pain management. Andrew, nice kid. I call him a kid. I mean, he's in his 30s, but to me, he's a baby in our world. He's just starting his practice, and he's hacking and coughing and sniffling. And he said, I think I caught something on the plane. I said, well, I'm sure you did. And so we swabbed him, the old poker up the nose thing. And he had both flu and COVID. Oh, man, double duty. It was like a double hit, baby. And he said, oh, I don't need anything. I said, yeah, you do. Take this or I'll slap you. So what else we got to talk about today? Are you there? I'm here. Oh, you disappeared there for a second. What else we got besides COVID on the docket today? I've been pestered by a bunch of people about taking fish oil. What's the best fish oil? The big supplement, huge supplement. I don't do that. I mean, I give prescriptions. Why would I want to give? You tell somebody to go get fish oil when I can give them Lovaza, which is about 10 times stronger and fewer pills. You'd have to take 20 fish oil pills to equal 4 Lovazas.
That's because you see the power of advertising there.
And the idea that they're in control of their own health, which they're not, of course.
But they think they are.
They think they are, but they're living longer, not because of what they do, but because of what science and medicine have done for them. They think, well, I'll live longer if I take fish oil. Well, you might grow gills, but I don't think you're going to live any longer. That's not going to prolong your life, Ken. Things that prolong your life are things like statins and Lovaza and keeping the blood pressure and the blood sugar down, making sure you get all your immunizations and keeping your weight down, staying active. Those are the things that keep you alive, but people don't want to hear that. And I get these people who say, well, I eat really healthy. Yeah, but you weigh 250 pounds, dude. Eat less. But I eat good.
That would help, yeah.
I eat good.
All right, Doc, we're coming up on the news here. I'm going to put the audio down to you, and I'll see you after the weather.
All right, I'll be right back.
Price on the way they're facilitated, this software is less than $2,000, I believe. So I'll give you more details about it. That's a lot less than what most attorneys are going to charge for a trust and even potentially a will. And I know in talking to the client, I said, your estate's pretty simple. I'm shocked that the attorney was going to charge him $5,000. And like I said, that I can't fund it. And most people don't know how to go fund the account.
They think it's going to be taken care of.
Right. So that's part of the job. That is part of the job. So important, folks. We're bringing this home. We are almost out of time. And folks, you can reach us again at 1-800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com. And it's real important that you realize you can take advantage of these type of strategies. Patty, any closing comments here?
Well, I'm just excited about the new year and everything that we have to offer with the tax calculator on the website.
Right. Yes.
Able to assist clients with trust versus wills and how to fund that and how to enjoy the retirement. So I'm excited about the new year.
Yeah, there are some good things that can happen right now. You need to protect your money, though. You need to create a foundation. And again, folks, find out how to add, this type of money to the account right now. And for those of you over 80 years old, we can help you too. A lot of advisors don't pay attention to folks over 80. We do. So we will be glad to help you any way that we can. And again, you can reach us at 1-800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com. Thank you. God bless you. We'll see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have a retirement account? Are you approaching 59 and a half where you need to do an in-service rollover? Let me talk to you about a way that you can add anywhere from 25 to 45% into your retirement account. That's right, 25 to 45% of your retirement account. and you could see your retirement climb double in 10 years. Folks, call us at 800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com.
AM 860, The Answer. Online at theanswertampa.com. Brandon Tatum says we need to get the job done.
People on our side are telling us they have evidence. They have all these transactions between Joe Biden and Hunter Biden that only suggest one thing, and that's that there was some involvement there between Hunter and Joe. If somehow, some way that we don't produce that evidence, we look stupid in the end.
The Officer Tatum Show. Weeknights at 6 on AM 860. The Answer.
Corey and Zach lingered in foster care for years, longing for a permanent place to call home. They lost hope.
I felt alone in the world. I didn't feel loved. Every day felt like a lost cause. I thought, who would want to adopt an older child?
I thought, I'm going to end up on the streets. That's just how it's going to be.
Thankfully, Corey and Zach's journey changed when they were adopted with help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
It's really difficult to wonder how you're going to make it. I'm not going to have that problem now. I just won't, because I have a family.
Today, Corey and Zach have bright futures. But every year, thousands of youth age out of foster care with no permanent family and no safety net. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Kevin Jackson Show.
The Uniparty is working together to get rid of Trump. Enough indictments, we get him to drop out. DeSantis steps in. We put DeSantis against Gavin Newsom. Then, trust me, folks, the elites have already picked this election. They picked the winner and the loser. I don't know who it would be, but I know who they want it to be so they can continue to orchestrate.
The Kevin Jackson Show. Weeknights at midnight on AM 860. The Answer. Tampa Bay's only conservative station. AM 860. The Answer. WGUL. You need to download the Answer Tampa app or listen online at theanswertampa.com. Tune in at Odyssey.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. Republican Nikki Haley has jumped to second place in the final Iowa poll before tomorrow's caucuses.
According to the influential Iowa poll, Haley has overtaken Ron DeSantis, but still trails Donald Trump by a substantial margin. Sponsored by the Des Moines Register, NBC News, and Mediacom, the poll shows Trump with 48% of likely Republican caucus goers. Haley is now in second place at 20%, followed by DeSantis in third place at 16%. Overall, two-thirds of Iowans say their minds are made up. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Icy winter weather blanketing the U.S. A wave of Arctic storms is threatening to break low temperature records in the heartland and spread cold and snow from coast to coast, casting a chill over all kinds of activities. This is SRN News. 2023 was a big year for the ultra-popular YouVersion Bible app, with another surge in the number of people downloading it. And a lot of that increase came from around the globe.
The use in Africa, people using it daily, is up almost 100% year over year. And in Kenya specifically, 225%. We're seeing just these trends happen in Latin America as well. All of Latin America for new devices are up 107% for the whole of Latin America year over year.
Bobby Grunwald is CEO of YouVersion.
We're very encouraged because we see it growing globally. There's really no part of the world in terms of the bigger regions of the world that we saw a decrease. Everything's been up.
He says those numbers indicate that in troubled times, people are turning to the scriptures for wisdom and hope. The app is completely free and has been downloaded on more than 725 million devices around the world so far. This is SRN News.
Are you ready for an adventure of a lifetime? Journey with me, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, on the Patriots Alaska cruise this summer. It's an incredible opportunity to engage with me and other like-minded patriots on an epic 7-day cruise over 4th of July weekend. Witness the untouched wilderness of Alaska while discussing America's future. What could be better? Join me from June 29th to July 6th. Call 855-565-5519 or reserve online. PatriotsAlaskaCruise.com.
Two Guys Gun Shows comes to the Hernando County Fairgrounds this Saturday and Sunday with a variety of new and used firearms. Shop the most modern and up-to-date guns and tactical equipment. Two Guys Gun Shows feature both licensed dealers and private sellers collections that aren't often found in other Florida shows. Trade-ins are welcome. One ticket both days, this Saturday and Sunday, at the Hernando County Fairgrounds in Brooksville at 6436 Broad Street. Enjoy the weekend with Two Guys Gun Shows in Brooksville.
The following program is sponsored by Bay Area Medical Can Care Clinic.
The latest from AccuWeather at the top and bottom of the hour, only on AM 860, The Answer.
Clouds and sun today, couple of showers. Today's high 64, mostly cloudy tonight, low 53. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Tomorrow will reach a high of 73. Cloudy Tuesday, showers in the morning, rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 72. Download the AccuWeather app and check AccuWeather.com often. That's your AccuWeather forecast. I'm Drew Shannon for AM 860, The Answer.
Hey, I got a confession. Been losing all momentum. Just because it's easy, but that don't make it better. I wanna take my hands deep down at the dirt. Take a walk along the street if I'm feeling dessert.
Go, Doc.
Good morning. This is Dr. Bill, your radio MD. We had a little music there. Kind of snappy, wasn't it? I like that. It's a little chilly out though this morning, isn't it, Ken?
A little bit. Yeah, not too bad though. From a guy from Chicago, it's not bad at all.
For a southerner, it's a little bit. I put on one of my winter sport coats, so I'm looking really snappy here, and I've got on a polo shirt. Ken was commenting on that. It's
very nice. Yes.
I don't know if you can see you see that.
Beautiful. I got a sweater on. I'm wearing a sweater. I'm wearing one of my Chicago thick sweaters.
Well, then you are a little bit chilly this morning.
I know. I'm losing my Chicago blood.
You are. You're getting thin-skinned down here in the deep south.
How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing good. How you doing? I guess you're working on that tooth, huh? You got
I was chewing on a Rolade and like a little tiny granule or something got stuck between my tooth and my gum, and it was just blowing up I guess the antibodies were coming to attack, and there's only so much room there between the gum and the jaw. It starts to hurt.
And you don't have many teeth left, so
that's right.
We got to protect you, dude. So we had a telemedicine visit before the show, and I guess we were live on air while we were doing it.
Oh, that's true. We were on Facebook, weren't we?
Yeah, YouTube, Facebook. So now you're internationally known for your bad teeth.
Oh, that's what's fine. I'll get a GoFundMe page. We'll get it taken care of.
There you go.
Then it'll work a little expensive these days.
Ken, I've had a lot of people asking me about fish oil and krill oil and all that.
Hey, it's all over you see it on TV all the time. It's good for you, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if you take about 20 pills of that stuff a day, then it works. But why not just go for the prescription drugs? We've got Lovaza, which is omega-3 acid. It's an ethyl ester, and it also has an alpha tocopherol in it, which is a cousin of vitamin E. And this has been shown to lower your triglycerides. And triglycerides are one of the fats that increase your risk of heart attack and stroke and other vascular diseases. And if you are looking at me live on Facebook, some of the causes are in the picture behind me. It's alcohol, obesity, refined starches and sugar, and junk food, saturated fats.
Do I see a picture of a pizza there?
Yeah, my favorite. I eat as much as I can.
So do I. But I'm not supposed to be, I take it.
Well, if your triglycerides are up, but I mean, you're not that heavy, so you keep your weight down. Really, weight's a big problem. And of course, if you're diabetic, that adds to it. That pushes your triglycerides up. If your thyroid functions are low, that'll push your triglycerides up. So there's a number of dietary, lifestyle, and medical factors, and you can have a genetic predisposition to it. And the normal range that we like to keep you at is below 150. And some people have as high as 500 and higher, but that's an inherited disorder. And that can cause all kinds of problems, not only clog up your arteries and add to your heart disease and your stroke risk. It also can can cause pancreatitis. Your pancreas is the exocrine, endocrine, both secretes and excretes hormones, and that's behind your stomach in your upper abdomen, and that's what makes insulin and also makes digestive enzymes and other hormones and enzymes. And the enzymes are excreted into the small intestines, and they break down proteins and fats and help absorb all that stuff through the bowel into your body. And of course, you know what insulin is. That's what controls your blood sugar, insulin and glucagon, and incretins, which are another hormone that's secreted in that area of the body. And that's what maintains your sugar balance. And when you start losing insulin as you age or from a genetic predisposition, then you become diabetic. There are kids that are born and we think it's probably a virus of some kind that we don't know yet that causes juvenile diabetes, where they completely lose their ability to make insulin. Adult diabetics, type 2 diabetes, most people continue to make insulin, but it's not as effective. And of course, if you're obese, that adds to it. And when you're obese, you push up your blood sugar, you push up your triglycerides, you push up your blood pressure, you retain salt. So lose weight, baby.
So you don't have to buy the fish oil at the store. You don't have to buy the supplement. You just call you.
You call Dr. Bill, 727-384-6411, 727-384-6411, and we'll get you on some prescription drugs. We've got Lovaza. There's a number of drugs that will lower your triglycerides. Niacin actually does some. If you want to take 500 to 1,000 milligrams of niacin a day. Now, get the slow release niacin if you want to treat yourself over the counter, because the rapid release will set you on fire for about 30 minutes.
You don't want that.
And then we've got the fibric acids, gemfibrozole, fenofibrate. We've got statins. Some of the statins will do it. One statin in particular that I use with people who have high triglycerides and high cholesterol. And then there's fish oil, but again, you have to take so much fish oil that it's pretty onerous. I mean,
I don't think it's cheap either.
Fish oil?
Yeah.
No, I doubt it. I mean, those fish charge a lot.
Do you have to milk them for the oil? Is that how you get it? I'm not quite sure.
And you have to get little elfish people to kind of pull on their little teats. And I don't know how they do it. But I know the fish aren't happy about it.
I'm sure they're not. No,
they don't like that at all.
All right. So forget the supplement. Call the doc if you're into the. Well, just eating fish has got to be good for you, then, right? I mean,
well, I think that fish is probably lower in cholesterol and higher in unsaturated fats, and of course that helps. And of course, it has the omega-3 in it. But remember, that's the deep sea fish. So when you eat the farm-raised salmon, it's not the same as eating a salmon that has been out in the wild.
Really, it's a fake salmon.
It's not as healthy, but that's okay. I mean, still it's cheap and easy, and you got what you wanted, and you ain't gonna live that long anyway. So who cares? as well enjoy life. Right?
Well, I'm not giving up any pizza for you, Doc. You can tell me to do a lot of things, but I don't think I'll give up the pizza.
I'm not giving up pizza either.
I just like the cheese. I don't even like the meat on there mostly. Just give me cheese.
You know what I do at the hospital is, because they serve a lot of quote flatbread.
Where'd you go, Doc? I see you moving, but I don't hear you anymore. Check your.
You hear me now?
There you are. I think you pulled your wire out.
Oh, dang! I'm sorry.
There you
so
are.
They serve a lot of flatbread at the hospital at lunch, and basically it's just pizza. But what I do is I'll just strip the top off the cheese and the veggies and eat that, and toss the carbs, and I get the same effect. I mean, I get what I want, which is the protein and that taste, and I don't have to scarf down all those carbs. But
I wonder if that's what's behind the new products I'm seeing at pizzerias. It's like a pan of pizza mix. You get the cheese and the meat, but no crust.
There you go.
I bet that's why they're doing it.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
And the dieters are happy.
I haven't had one yet, but I should try that. That is my favorite part of the pizza, of course, the cheese and the sauce.
So I was interested, Ken, that Taiwan held its election, and China said, if you do that, we're going to come over there and grab you guys and all that. And of course, everybody around the world is giving the Taiwanese kudos for standing up to Beijing and going their own way. But I can't believe this. Biden stresses that the U.S. does not support independence for Taiwan. Did I miss something? I thought we were going to go to war for them, and now we're saying we don't support their independence.
He just said that like a year ago, didn't he?
I
thought he did. I don't think he was supposed to, but he did.
Yeah, and now he's saying we do not support independence. I mean, is he demented? Are we stupid? Or
apparently, he can still read what people put in front of him.
Why on earth would he say such a thing? I mean,
because his advisors told him to.
I mean, that basically says to China, come on in.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't. And the Taiwanese, they don't want to be part of mainland China. They left. I mean, Chiang Kai-shek lost the Civil War, and he took everybody and they went to Taiwan, and they've developed one hell of a little economy there. They're a powerhouse. The Acer computers and the chip industry. And I mean, they've got a lot of high tech going on there, buddy boy.
I know. We should figure out how to get it out if we have to in a hurry.
Well, I think we probably can and will, but it's not going to be in a hurry. That's the problem. It's not going to be in a hurry.
We may have to build shadow factories here in the U.S.
Yeah, if we can get these Democrats off their butts and get them to do something other than make more and more restrictions on our ability to conduct business and manufacture and do all the things we need to do.
Too busy keeping candidates off the ballot. Sorry.
Yeah, and you see where John Kerry, he's left the White House as the ambassador for global warming or
okay.
Greenpeace. Or
in his private jet at all?
He said he only rode in that private jet twice, and lately he's been flying commercial. He's a liar.
Of course. Why do you have it if you're not going to use it?
I mean, yeah. And it wasn't his jet anyway. It was his wife's.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. I didn't have my own jet, but my wife did. And she flew me all over the world. That's why I married her. She had a jet. Okay. What is, Ken, what's going on in the world? How do these people get into power? I think that
it doesn't make no sense.
It doesn't make any. You know what I think? I think that those of us who are more capable and more interested and more educated and more or sane or saner, I should say, we don't want to be in government. I mean, you're attacked constantly, and you don't get paid that much unless you're on the take like the Bidens are. But people think, I guess they think this is where they can go and make some money.
I think it's power. I think they're power hungry.
Power too. Well, and also you look at John Kerry, he got to marry one of the Heinz heiresses. And so, right. She picked up on him because he was a quote celebrity. And now he's a billionaire, basically, I would guess, with his own, well, not his own private jet, his wife's own private jet. And so he can fly all over the world and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be in government, doesn't have to work at all, probably at all. But he's doing it for the power.
It's like Mel Brooks said, it's good to be the king.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
Good to be the king.
I was pleased to see that we finally hit the Houthis, to tell you the truth.
Well, we hit them, but did we really do much damage? I mean, was it more of a warning, or was it really just a little tactical, flick them on the nose, or was it really a strategic, we're wiping these SOBs out?
Oh, no, it wasn't that kind of thing. It was more of a, look, we can take this radar out here. We can take these missiles out here. So,
I mean,
it'll be replaced quickly.
Why don't we just go right to the source and blow up some of the plants in Iran that are making these weapons?
That would be the logical thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But so would closing the border,
Yeah, and risking a wider war. Oh, come on. all you're doing is just dragging out this war. Go in there and smash them, get it over with.
Gonna happen someday.
Yeah, and the Iranians, they don't have the ability to take us on. I mean, they don't have much of an air force.
I don't think we would move with soldiers. I don't think we would put troops in there. We would just
we wouldn't.
We would just bomb. We just carpet bomb.
Yeah, just carpet bomb and hit the manufacturing areas and the nuclear plants and all that. Maybe take out some oil lines, but
yeah, we're very good at that selective bombing.
Oh yeah, we got that down pat, baby. We can drop a bomb right on your nose.
Put it right down the chimney. Merry Christmas.
Right down the chimney. Ho, ho, ho. A boom.
I was reading yesterday, just segueing to Ukraine for a second.
Yeah.
I was reading yesterday that they can't have tank battles there. And the gist of the article is the tank dead? Because there's so many drones up in the air right now, keeping an eye on everything on both sides. You can't sneak up on anybody with a tank. You can't even get close.
Yeah, well.
I think the day of the tank is dead, Doc. I really do.
Unless you have some kind of stealth technology that you can
unless you can block their drones.
Yeah, I mean we've got stealth technology on ships now. Some of them are barely visible to radar, but visually they would be visible. I guess you could move at night, but even then you've got infrared, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like the drones are taking away the tank battles because they're not happening. They don't understand why. They've got our Abrams there now, and we've got the Soviet best tanks, and they're not going at each other because they can't get close enough to each other and fire the first shot and surprise. And I guess that's part of tank strategy.
So now we have to go back to sticky bombs. You know what those are?
I do know what they are. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, a sticky bomb is it's an improvised explosive device that you stick to the tracks of the tank as they roll by. You run out and slap them on there, and then it doesn't blow the tank up, but it disables it so it can't run because it blows the track off, the tread off of the track. And that's
think of a Molotov cocktail with glue on it.
Yeah. Only more explosive than gasoline, but yeah.
They just stop it, but once you get it stopped, you can get a tank pretty much destroyed.
But did you know how much power gasoline has? I mean, 1 gallon of gasoline is like 5 or 6 sticks of dynamite.
Is it really?
Oh. Yeah, it's a lot, but it doesn't combust as fast as dynamite does, but it has the same amount of power and energy and produces the same amount of heat. So
yeah, you just need the force to get it off the track.
Yeah, so I'm giving up on my plasma weapon, and I'm stockpiling gasoline now underneath the house.
Darn, I was looking forward to the plasma.
Well, I'm not giving it up completely, but I'm just putting it on hold and while I get my storage tank built underneath the townhouse here. I don't think the neighbors will notice.
I was going to say the condo association may not like that too much.
Should I go through the architectural review committee? Oh my God, the things I've been accused of. I was accused of throwing nails in one of my neighbor's driveways. I was in Asia. How did I do that all the way from
You had somebody do it for you. See,
I hired a guy to go out there
That's
and
right.
throw nails out there. Just what I think about. Unbelievable.
No other worries.
I mean, it's like I'm the only parent and adult here. It's like grade school, you know. Well, he said, and she said, and me, and sticking their tongues out and childish.
And you're not even president. You're not even the president anymore.
I'm not even president anymore. I'm still, now they're going after the other guys.
Well, good. Yeah.
Mean girls are going after somebody else.
Well, good. They finally got somebody else to blame now.
And any rate, back at Hertz, I guess they're one of the largest rental car companies in the world.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, they did the big Tesla bet. So guess what? They're selling off 1/3 of their electric vehicle fleet.
Really?
1/3. And they were, I think,
enough chargers out there for them.
Well, they say that they're too expensive. They're not making money on them, and you can see why. First of all, you have to charge them up, and that costs money. Secondly, you have to have charging stations, And if you have a fast charging station, you're going to pay a lot of money for that. The Tesla fast charging stations are not cheap. You know, I put in my own charging station, and I would say that it cost me, less than $1,000. But if you consider the time and the effort and all that I put into it, it's close to $1,000. You have somebody come and do it for you, it's going to be more than that. And if you want one of those big charging stations, you're talking $20,000 to $30,000 a pop. And then you have to buy more electricity, and you have to upgrade your wiring from the power company, because you can't just use a line that brings in 300 amps. You need 1,200, 1,500 amps. So that's a big piece of copper wire coming in. That costs money. I can tell you, we went from a 200 to 400 amp breaker at our old house when we rebuilt it. And Ken, I had to pay Duke Energy $5,000 because they had to put a step-up transformer that was capable of producing 400 amps across the street, underground, and then they had to run a line under the street because I needed a bigger line, and then we had to put in a bigger line to the house. So the electrician and a couple of the Mexicans and me, we got down there, and we had to dig this thing 4 feet deep. By code, it has to be 4 feet deep, the trench, and then lay the line in there. So the cost for that it was probably 10 grand just to increase the panel from 200 to 400 amps. Now,
You're not really saving any money on gas there, Doc.
No, and then think about this, Ken. You got these stupid people out there, and they're driving these electric vehicles, and they're thinking, oh, I can just stop anywhere and get it charged up, and they can't. And guess what? They run out of juice, and what happens? The electric vehicles won't run. You can't even push them. They lock up. So then you have to call Hertz, and Hertz has to send out a tow truck, pick the damn thing up, because I doubt they have any kind of charging mechanisms out on their trucks. I mean, maybe they do, but I haven't seen any trucks with that kind of equipment on it that can charge an electric vehicle. So, I mean, that's a lot of money that they're spending on these things. So they're getting rid of them. And the age of electric vehicles may end before it even starts.
Yeah, it's starting to look like that.
The sales are dropping precipitously, and I mean, I love my electric car. I think it's really a godsend. I haven't been to a gas station in 1.5 years, 2 years now, and I don't have to put up with all the mess of oil changes and lube jobs and all that. I just take it up to the guys at the station and say, hey, I lost my programming, and they charge me and they reprogram it, and that's it, and they check the wheels and rotate them and make sure the battery's in good shape, and that's it. So it's really convenient from that aspect. And of course, I'm getting free electricity at the hospital, but most people aren't. They got to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're paying for now is subsidized. So let's say you go and you charge up at Wawa, and Wawa is a chain of gas stations and fast food centers, restaurant chain, a little convenience store thing. And it costs for a full charge, it's going to cost you about $40. Guess what? That's subsidized. So what are you going to pay for a full charge when it's not subsidized? 80, $100? Well, you're back to what gas cost. So
yeah, I've said it before. It's not the time yet. We're not there yet.
No, we should have put in more nuclear reactors first. They're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, you produce the electricity, then
you produce it, make the electricity, then spend the electricity. But nobody's listening to me. I don't care about it.
I know.
I'm not talking to them. They hurt my feelings, Ken.
I think we should run you for president.
You should, but we'd have to kill some of the women in my life. they'd me too, me. I'd be in deep doo-doo. The wife would be going, oh my God, I knew it.
Oh, she'd love being first lady.
I told you the story. She was going on about how terrible King Charles, he was Prince Charles then, was because of, and all the women in the world. I mean, I don't care whether they're from India, Singapore, Japan, Sub-Saharan Africa, the United States, South America. They all hate Prince Charles, King Charles, because of what he did for Diana. And basically, I guess they think that he double crossed her and cheated on her, and with Camilla.
Yeah, that's I don't like him because of that too. Tell you the truth, now.
Well, I know it. I mean, Camilla's so damn ugly. I was I was shocked. I mean,
I worry about his judgment, quite frankly. Yes.
And so she's going on and on and on about him and how wonderful she was and what a cad he is. And I said, well, what if he asked you to marry him? Would you marry him? She says, sure, of course, I'd be a princess.
I'd do that.
No, wait a minute, I don't understand. Okay, basically, it tells me that women are in it for the money.
No,
no,
I wouldn't say that. Not in public.
We're not in public. We're on a private radio station.
Well, it's going out there to everybody.
Owned. It's not a public company. Are we publicly traded?
No, but we're publicly aired.
Oh, okay. I got. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Now, all right.
I'll say anything I want to on Zoom, but you know, put it on the radio. No.
Well, I record all my Zoom meetings, so I've got you, buddy boy.
Oh, good, excellent. We can run reruns.
So Iran is seizing oil tankers linked to U.S. sanctions. Is that still going on, or did they?
I know they got one of them.
They got one of them. What'd they do with it?
They're just holding it for a moment. I'm not sure. What more interesting is we're losing seals. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
A couple of seals are disappearing in, I don't know if it was the Red Sea, where they were operating.
Well, they probably went undercover. I was talking to one guy that was a SEAL, and he said that before Iraq, I forget if it was Iraq 1 or Iraq 2, they went into the desert in an area where they could keep an eye on traffic, a little bit off of one of the main highways. And they dug a pit, and I guess they got a piece of plywood and put it over it and put sand on top of it. And they had their own little lookout station. They could come out at night and forage and get what they needed. And said the only thing that happened is some little kid saw them, and so they had to give him some candy bars to buy him off. And the kid kept his mouth shut, I guess. Or they killed him and didn't tell anybody. Who knows?
Well, I don't know if the SEALs were on a mission. Because I heard about that, and my first thought was, well, they were going after the Iranian siege of the tanker. That was my first thought.
Yeah.
Put some SEALs in the water to get on board, and something went wrong.
Probably.
So that's because they haven't given us any details yet, but I'm pretty sure that those two items might be linked in the end.
Yep, they probably are.
Yeah.
So you remember the Oxford High School shooting up there? I think it was in Ethan Crumbly up in, was it Michigan, I think?
I'll take your word for it on that one.
I think it's somewhere in one of those northern states, one of those liberal northern states. At any rate, the mother's now on trial for involuntary manslaughter. Did you know that? Jennifer.
No.
Yeah, he got life. And so she's asking to dismiss 3 jurors because of some gruesome stuff that they were exposed to. And so, yeah, they're trying to put her, and I guess her and James and Jennifer, they're trying to put them away, give them a few years, teach them.
What's the charge?
Well, they went out and bought the kid a gun.
Oh, they bought the gun.
Yeah, they bought the gun and said, "Here, go out and shoot somebody." Well, no, I don't know that they said that, but
Probably didn't say that. Yeah.
No, but it's really kind of sad. But I do think the parents need to be held accountable, unless the kid was born with some problem or had a head injury. But most of this are kids that have been abused or neglected, and the parents need to be held accountable. Then you go out and buy them a gun. You got this crazy kid who's threatening to kill somebody, and you think, well, if I buy him a gun and teach him how to use it, he'll have more respect for it.
You're right. There has to be some responsibility there somewhere.
Yeah. He'll respect killing somebody is what he'll respect.
Yeah.
And you know what I respect, Ken, more than anything?
Let me guess, a cup of coffee.
A cup of coffee and a mug that says, Dr. Bill, your radio MD. Why don't we give 1 or 2 away?
Let's do that. You got a question? I don't have a question. I haven't formed a question yet. You got a question you'd like to ask? We never let you ask the question.
We never let me ask the question. Okay, so what class of over-the-counter medications were we talking about this morning? Big deal, big money, and good for your health. It has to do with your cholesterol and your triglycerides. What class of over-the-counter medicines or supplements, I should call them, were we talking about? Give us a call at
877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. First caller will win.
And we'll be right back. I am Dr. Bill, your radio MD.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. Today marks 100 days that Israel and Hamas have been at war. This war is already the longest and deadliest between Israel and the Palestinian terror group since the establishment of the Jewish state in 1948, and the fighting shows no signs of ending. Israel declared war in response to Hamas' cross-border attack on October 7th. It was the deadliest attack in Israel's history and the deadliest for Jews since the Holocaust. Taiwan is condemning what it says are fallacious comments by China following the self-governing island's presidential and parliamentary election. The verbal sparring does not bode well for the future of Taiwan's relations with China under President-elect Lai Ching-te or for China's relations with the U.S. This country has asked two former officials to go to Taiwan this week for post-election meetings. This is SRN News.
AM 860, The Answer. Listen on our website, theanswertampa.com, 93.7 FM, W229DJ Dunedin, by downloading the Answer Tampa app or on TuneIn or Odyssey.
Dr. Bill for Bay Area Medical, located at 6399 38th Avenue North in St. Pete, 727-384-6411, 727-384-6411. Full service clinic with x-ray, heart imaging, ultrasound, stress testing, and minor surgery. We provide quality health care in a warm and friendly atmosphere. We are multilingual, well-trained, and certified. Most American insurance and new patients accepted. Bay Area Medical, home of Can Care, 727-384-6411, 727-384-6411. Dr. Bill here. With social distancing and sheltering in place, telemedicine is here. Bay Area Medical Home of Can Care Clinic offers telemedicine for new and established patients. You can see me without an in-office visit. Schedule an appointment at 727-384-6411, 727-384-6411. When it's time for your appointment, type this web address into your cell phone or computer web browser, doxy.me/Bay Area Med. A cell phone works well and is all you really need. For computers, you need a web camera and speakers. We'll give you this address when you call for your appointment. We accept most insurances and travel insurances. Canadians and visitors, please call your travel insurance company for an authorization number prior to the visit. Copays and deductibles apply. Self-pay rates are available. Just ask. We accept credit cards, PayPal, and Stripe. 727-384-6411, 727-384-6411. Dr. Bill here. My friends at St. Pete MRI and Sleep Diagnostics are your best choice for state-of-the-art MRI, CT, and sleep studies. Quality unsurpassed. 25 years experience makes St. Pete MRI my go-to imaging center. Self-pay rates are competitive and out-of-pocket cost a fraction of a hospital. Conveniently accessible from both sides of the bay at 750 94th Avenue North, St. Pete, near the Gandy. 727-577-2220, 727-577-2220.
The latest from AccuWeather at the top and bottom of the hour. Only on AM 860, The Answer.
Clouds and sun today, couple of showers. Today's high 64, mostly cloudy tonight, low 53. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Tomorrow will reach a high of 73. Cloudy Tuesday, showers in the morning, rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 72. Download the AccuWeather app and check AccuWeather.com often. That's your AccuWeather forecast. I'm Drew Shannon for AM 860, The Answer.
Go, Doc. Hello there.
And I'm back. This is Dr. Bill. I got Ken by my side, and we're doing a radio show and a podcast, and we're having fun on this Sunday morning. Chilly Sunday.
We always do.
We always have fun, baby. We always have fun. So the latest dirty word in corporate America, ESG. You know what that means?
I have no idea what that is.
Environmental, social, and governance. And so there was a movement, you'll remember, to be politically correct by a lot of big companies like Coca-Cola. And now that the fad is starting to wane, now they're going away from that, because if you have been watching TV, there are funds, investment funds, that will not invest in companies that stress ESG and have that in their corporate boardrooms. And I guess there's some kind of a form that you can fill out, and that you can even hire companies to make sure that you're being politically correct, environmentally, socially, and governance-wise. And so this is starting to fade away. So we're going to hear less of that now. And so I guess the transgender commercials will be gone soon. And we'll be back to good old. Let's see, Bud Light is hiring football players now to try to win back people to do their commercials. Have you seen that?
I'm not, but it's a good move for them. Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what's not a good move for football is putting playoff games on pay-per-view. That is not a good move for football. But
Oh, I was so mad last night.
so was I.
I couldn't get what I thought would be one of the great games. Who won? I don't even know. Did Miami win?
Kansas City won.
Kansas, how much? Bad or?
Hey, it wasn't. It was like 14-27, something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay, so.
But
Well,
yeah, I was very upset when I learned that they were putting a football playoff game.
Yeah, come on. I mean, I might even boycott the Super Bowl this year and not go. Where is it, by the way?
I have no idea where. I never go.
I've been to two.
Here in Tampa?
Yeah, the two in Tampa. Went to the one, I guess it was the Steelers were in, I can't remember, or San Diego or somebody, but that was got a long time ago. Paid for that one. And then the one where Tom Brady was playing for us here, that was during the COVID fiasco. And we actually got free tickets for being frontline workers in the COVID.
Oh, I remember they did that. Yeah, they handed out some tickets to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, well, except I was up in the nosebleed section. I wasn't smart enough to walk down and just take a chair down by the on the goal.
That's been when they had cardboard. They had cardboard cutouts in seats back then, didn't they?
Well, they were all empty. And one of my friends, Jesus, which is, as you know, Spanish for Jesus, Jesus is his name. He was born in the States, raised in Honduras, and then came back. He said, "Out of hell with this," and he went down there. And he sat right on the goal, right on the 50-yard line, right behind the teams. And he just moved one of those cardboard cutouts over. And one of the ushers came down and said, "Sir, are you supposed to be here?" And he held up his badge and said, "Yeah, I'm a healthcare worker." He said, "Oh yeah, just stay, have fun."
Good.
You're
going with them.
And I'm up in the nosebleed section. I couldn't even see the field, for God's sakes. It was so far up there. But at any rate, I got drunk and had a good time.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks for sharing.
And
congratulations to Rob Duncan.
Rob
Duncan.
Rob, all right, Rob.
Of beautiful St. Petersburg. He had the correct answer to today's question. The question was, what supplements and vitamins and stuff were we talking about at the beginning of the show? And Doc, the answer is
fish oil, krill oil, over the counter, which you have to take a ton of to get any benefit from. And there's actually only one or two prescription triglyceride lowering agents that have been shown in clinical trials to reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke. So the best program is to get your weight down, stay active, make sure you get your blood checked, take your medications as prescribed, and don't get too infatuated with all this over-the-counter crap.
Don't believe what you see on TV sometimes.
Don't believe a lot of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time.
Call Doc. He'll give you what you need. What's that number again, Doc?
727-384-6411. 727-384-6411. We're at 6399 38th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. And you can come see me, or you can have a telemedicine visit. We're using DoxyMe. We'll send you a link, LINK. So if you've got a smartphone, we'll just send you a link, and you can follow that link and make sure your camera and your audio are turned on your smartphone, and I can see you remotely. Oh boy. Or
if you want to go in, they got a great staff. He's got one of the friendliest staffs I've ever been associated with.
They're crazy, but they're friendly.
That's right. They are.
They're
great to work with. They laugh at my jokes. That's all that counts.
Well, you know, what really amazed me is I went up to the front office Friday afternoon, and they already had the lounge chairs and the Mai Tais broken out. We didn't have any patients coming in. I was like, "Are you working or what?" Yeah, they're working on their suntan, their indoor suntan.
Well, anyway, back to Rob here for a second. Rob, congratulations. You've won 2 Dr. Bill, your Radio MD coffee mugs, and those will be coming out to you in a couple of weeks. And thanks to everybody who called in and tried to win today.
Yeah. And Rob, we really appreciate you listening, man. It helps so much to know that we have a fan base out there, because I hate to think it was just me and Ken. Not that I have anything against being alone with Ken, but I like more company if possible. So thank
It's
you.
nice to know you're actually listening and paying attention so you can repeat these things.
Yeah.
Actually concentrating on the show.
What did he say? What did he say, Martha?
Yeah, that's right. We're not just background. People are actually paying attention.
They are, thank God. So ESG is out, and we're back to hopefully some, sexy girls doing some commercials and some manly men, whatever. We don't have transgenders and mutants, and I don't know what else. They pulled out the whole thing, didn't they?
Yeah, it's been a little weird lately.
It's been weird.
It's been weird to watch TV just a little bit. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll come back to some reality here.
I hope so. But, maybe we're just old, Doc. Who knows? Everything changes. I don't know.
Oh, come on. It can't change that much. Well, I mean, we go through these.
Well, genders usually stay the same no matter what time period in history it is.
Used to.
That's where it's getting weird, right?
Yeah, but remember when Queen Elizabeth I died and the Stuarts came in, the first Stuart, Charles I, or was it James? I can't remember. I think it was James. At any rate, he wanted to spend more time with his boyfriend than his wife. And everybody in the country was snickering about, he was on the gay side of the coin. And but I mean, these things come and go, I guess, in history, huh?
I assume so, yeah. Romans, I think the Romans had a pretty good time too with it, if I remember my history correctly.
Well, in the language of we have this human trafficking course that we have to take as doctors every so many years. It's part of getting your state license renewed. And one of the terms that catchphrases that you're supposed to know is going Greek.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. Thank you.
Which is a little weird, but apparently that's one of the catchphrases amongst the pedophiles and the bad boys.
Yeah.
At any rate, speaking of bad boys, a network of smugglers flew business class to gain extra luggage allowances from Great Britain from London to Dubai. And guess what they had in their suitcases?
What, drugs by any chance?
125 million in cash.
In cash, okay.
in pounds. I mean, that's a lot of money to carry in pounds.
Yes, it is.
And so the authorities in Great Britain have been tracking these guys, and they caught them, and they've got pictures of them rolling through the airport with these huge suitcases, and young guys with 3 or 4 big suitcases. Are you moving or what? Oh yeah, I'm moving to Dubai. I got a job there. What do you do? I'm a money launderer. 125 million. How come I don't get invited to these parties?
Well, you also didn't get arrested. So, it's a trade-off.
That's true. I'm not in jail.
That's right.
And
you're a good, solid citizen.
And then down in Houston, some guys went in to work on, some maintenance workers went into an apartment to work on whatever, plumbing or whatever, a leak. And they found a 2 or 3 year old that was tied up with duct tape under a blanket, half starved in the living room. And all the other kids in the house were fine. And they asked the kids, what is going on here? Well, she won't eat. So mom and dad beat her and tie her up. Well, you kids, they eat like crazy when they're, from 0 to 1 to 1.5, but then they stop eating because their growth curve grows down. So they don't eat as much. And so they arrested a whole bunch of people, and
as they should,
and got the kid out of there. And there's crazy things going on in the world. You know that?
I know. That's why I watch comedies.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm relaxing, I watch nothing but comedies. I don't care how old it is. I watch Friends. I watch MASH. I watch movies from the 60s that were funny. I just try to turn it off for a while. You got to turn it off.
Yep, you got to turn it off because it's just insane.
It'll drive you crazy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And speaking of insanity, Chevy Blazers are having all kinds of problems. People are having them stop on them. The dashboard, the LED screen, the computer screen goes out, and clicking sounds. And so GM is cutting back on their EV plans and their EV production And, you know, they haven't made any money, neither Ford nor Chevy, nor Chrysler, whoever owns Chrysler now. None of those companies have made any money off of their electric vehicles. It costs them more to make the vehicle than they get when they sell them. Did you know that?
It doesn't surprise me.
And I guess they're getting some government subsidies, but
They just jumped too quickly.
yeah, I mean, they wasn't well thought out, as we've said before.
Got to have the network there before you start putting all these things on the road. And it's got to be reliable. I mean, well, how many people drive gas cars when they drove up to a pump, it wasn't working half the time?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have riots going on.
Yes.
It'd be like back in the 70s when we had the oil embargo and people were lined up for a half a mile to get gas.
It was ugly. Yeah.
Didn't bother me.
I was reading an article the other day about a guy who meticulously tried to go from one end of the country to the other in an electric vehicle and had everything planned out, all his stops, all his distances, where his charges were going to be, all super duper charges. And he said he got to one, he had like 10 minutes of power left, and that wasn't working. Now what do I do?
Yeah, and once you run out of juice, baby, those things they lock up. That's it. You can't push them. You can't even push them. You can't. There's no way to put it into quote neutral, because when you put your electric vehicle in neutral, guess what? The motor seizes up. It won't turn over, and of course the wheels are connected to the motor, so then they won't turn. Nothing works.
There's design flawed, sure. Because you don't want that happening in the middle of what if we in the middle lane on I-4 at 5 in the evening? You don't want your car locking up.
You know, speaking of other things that are poorly thought out, Ron DeSantis, I mean, this guy is not going to make it. I'm guessing he'll probably drop out after New Hampshire, because even Nikki Haley, who is politically incorrect for a lot of us more conservative Republicans, she's pulled ahead of him in Iowa. Did you know that?
I heard like 20% now or something like that.
Yeah, she's really moved up, and he's fallen back. I mean, the guy, he is such a good governor. He's such a good administrator, and he's got such good ideas, and absolutely positively no stage presence, no charisma. I mean, he just does not connect, and you've got to be able to. He needs an acting coach. He needs an acting coach. So, you know, he needs to really work on that if he's going to run in 4 years. And because
needs to lighten up a little bit.
Yeah, if Trump gets in, of course, he's only got one more term, and then he's gone. So the 2028 election will be open for him, and he's got all the right intellectual and experiential armamentarium, but he just doesn't have that ability to connect. And I wish that he had talked to me before he did this. But
you should watch some of Reagan stuff.
Yeah, and he should listen to Dr. Bill's radio show too.
Absolutely, couldn't hurt.
Because he'd get material, and he'd know what to say and do and how to present himself. But no, he didn't call me.
We love you, Ron, but you just got to lighten up a little bit, you know.
You get an acting coach, buddy boy.
Yeah.
We want you to be president, but you ain't gonna make it if you keep coming across like you are, which is okay with me, but most people don't like that.
It's a serious job, and you need a serious guy to do it, but you got to have some personality.
Yeah, and I mean, if you ever see Trump on stage, the guy's funny as hell. And Nikki Haley is pretty engaging. She does a lot of eye contact and gets all the women looking at her. And then how about the governor of South Dakota? Oh my gosh, I want to marry her. She's probably going to be Trump's running mate. You know that?
Really?
She might be. I mean, I don't think he really needs a Westerner that's conservative, because he's already got that state in North Dakota locked up, and probably Montana and Wyoming. But she would make a good running mate. She is. Talk about. Have you seen her commercials?
I have not. No.
Oh, she does these commercials where she's a dentist, and she's got on her mask, and she's talking about all the opportunities for dentists and doctors. And then she takes off her mask and says, well, I'm not really a dentist, I'm the governor. And then she's an accountant, and she's got paper and numbers flipping out, and she's got some guy sitting there with her, and she says, well, I'm not really an accountant, so I can't budget anything, but I am the governor and we got lots of jobs up here and we're the fastest growing state and blah, 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 blah. She's really cute.
Sounds like a very effective series of commercials. Somebody
Oh,
what they
really?
were doing. Yeah.
And she's one hot babe too.
And that doesn't hurt.
And that doesn't hurt. And so we'll get Ron. We'll fix him before the next election. I'm going to go up to the state house once he gets.
This is a good trial run for him. He got a feel for what it was going to be like.
Yeah, which is not good.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant experience.
Not what he wanted. So I think that Trump's going to get the nomination, and it doesn't look like these lawsuits and efforts to get him off the ballot are going to work. I think the Supreme Court's taking up the ballot thing, aren't they? Isn't that coming down the pike here soon?
They sent it back to appeals, and I think we go to the full appeal court next, and then we go to Supreme Court. So it's 6 months down the line, easy.
And
I would think. Yeah,
I don't know which appeals court, which federal district that was in, but
I remember Denver, wasn't it? I would think so.
Was it in Denver? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
He had the one up in, what was it, Maine?
Right. New Hampshire. Was it Maine? Yeah, one of the two.
One of those weird states up there in the far northeast.
Strangely shaped states. Yes.
Odds. Yeah. Little slivers.
Yeah.
And so
not manly states like we have out west.
No, and not really glamorous states like we have here in Florida.
That's right.
We are
fun states. We are a fun state.
We're the fun state.
We're the fun state of Florida.
We're the freest state in the country, besides South Dakota. South Dakota doesn't have any taxes or anything. I guess they get it all off their cattle and their shale oil or whatever they're doing up there. I don't know.
And I don't think Wyoming really has any speed limits, do they? On their highways?
They probably don't, because there ain't nobody out there. But you
right.
Watch out, you might run into a buffalo, and that'll be the end of you if you're doing 100 miles an hour. Oh my gosh! But they wander across the interstate.
I know they do. Yeah, it's like deer in the Midwest. They're always on the roadways.
And if you've been to Yellowstone, I mean, they just walk out in the middle of the road and stand there, dare you.
And some people take the deer, and it doesn't usually end well.
No, it doesn't end well. You usually get a buffalo horn up the butt.
Yeah,
and that hurts, Ken.
I would think it does. Yes,
it's worse than a hemorrhoid.
No, you don't turn your back on a bull and take a selfie.
No, don't do it's or a cow, especially if she hadn't put her makeup on yet.
Oh yeah, okay.
Those female buffaloes, they do not like their picture taken before they're up and about and have had their coffee and makeup.
Let them get their coffee.
Kind of like my wife.
We got about 4 minutes left, Doc. What do you want to talk about next?
Well, Ken, I want to talk about dental hygiene.
Oh, okay.
For your sake. So are you going to quit sticking things in your mouth that don't belong there, or what?
Probably not. I've come to the conclusion that I'm just not going to do that.
You're just not going to do
it. Just in knowing, I just can't do it. I mean, I know about I've tried everything, hypnosis and all that stuff, and I just gotta want to quit. I mean, that's the only way to do it. People who do it cold turkey just decide one day they're just done, and they're done.
And like I tell my morbidly obese patients, I mean, look, if food is your passion, if that's what you like to do, there's nothing I can do to stop that. I mean, it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's legal. They can't arrest you for driving fat. They can get you for driving drunk, but they can't get you for driving fat. They can't get you for driving and smoking. And there's just some things that grab a subset of the population, and they get addicted to it, and they like it, and they're not going to give it up. Like some people get addicted to the video games. Some people get addicted to the cigarettes. And if you like it and it makes you feel good, like one of my patients said, his father quit smoking, and after that, he was the nastiest SOB he had ever met. He said, I wish he'd start smoking again.
That actually happened with my wife and I both quit. Well, she's a smoker as well, and vivacious Deborah and I decided on the same day we're going to quit smoking. And like 2 weeks later, the kids were begging us to start smoking again. Please, at least one of you start smoking again.
Bring some sanity back to the household.
Exactly.
You know what we see with a lot of the patients that have psychiatric diseases like schizophrenia is now they don't promote this anymore, but we used to promote it because the nicotine really helped calm them down. And I don't know why. I don't know the biochemistry behind it, but it does work. It does work for some people. And I guess the nicotinic receptors in the brain are more prevalent in some people than others. And they have a stimulating and calming effect at the same time. So
It does. I don't know how maybe it's all psychological, but it does calm me down when I'm in moments of stress. So
I guess it depends on what you want out of life. If you feel that you have found something that makes you feel good and keeps you sane and helps you out, well, who am I to tell you to stop doing it? Now, if what you want to do is live longer, then you have to hear what I have to say.
I don't inhale deeply. Is that good?
Only halfway down in your lungs.
Only halfway down. Yeah, not all
the
the
top
way.
half looks bad and the bottom. Well,
Exactly.
listen,
yeah.
I've seen your lungs, so I know the truth, and I'm not.
I'm trying, Doc.
I'm not going to oust you. I'm not going to blow your cover, bud. But I've seen your lungs, so I know the whole story.
I know. Can't hide anything from you.
You can't hide it. We got X-ray. I have
That's
X-ray
right.
vision in the office.
You can even go to CAT scan if you need a better look. So
I am the Svengali of medicine. Ooh.
we are about 40 seconds away from the end of the show. Another one just flew by here, Doc.
And we had a ball, didn't we? It was.
We
fun.
always do in our little playhouse here.
I know it's like the sandbox that never stops giving.
Exactly. I don't think I laughed more all week than I do on this particular show. We just have a good time.
We have a good time.
You're down to about 20 seconds now. You want to give the address and the phone number and all that one more time?
727-384-6411, 727-384-6411. I am your Dr. Bill, and we're at 6399 38th Avenue North, St. Pete, Florida. Come and see us. Have a great one, Ken. I'll talk to you next week.
You take care, Doc, and we will see you next Sunday time, 9 o'clock as usual.
Information, provocation, and fun. Dr. Bill Handelman practices in St. Petersburg, Florida at Bay Area Medical Can Care Clinic, 6399 38th Avenue North. For your convenience, telemedicine appointments are available. Call his office today at 727-384-6411. That's 727-384-6411. Or visit his website at cancareclinic.com.